You get to what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Manchester United versus Manchester City 0-0. Strangely enough, I actually didn't mind this game. And what I mean by that is, like, I thought it was a decent game. A lot of people have been complaining online that it wasn't that good of a game. It was a snooze fest. They're so happy they missed out and they only saw the highlights. So thereby, they didn't miss out on much, according to a lot of people. I thought it was a very lively game, a very dynamic game. There was a lot going on. There were so many chances that were just spoiled, and from both teams. From both teams, it's sad that it ended up being a 0-0. They had a lot of chances and they just weren't clinical. None of these teams were clinical, and there wasn't, according to a lot of people, I don't think there was like a standout player, and I beg to differ. I think there was one. It just wasn't that clear of a standout performance. Had maybe he scored a goal, maybe he would have stood out, but I had no complaints with this game. It wasn't, again, the most thrilling of games, I'm not going to lie to you. But for me, City should have won this game just because they're in a better position. More than likely, they're going to play the Champions League football. Unlike Manchester United, that had probably more chances, looked a lot more threatening. But they're in the relegation zone. And maybe that's the issue that, Manchester City used to be the team. They were one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world. And now they're playing nothing like they used to play. So maybe that's where people are kind of like disappointed that it wasn't that good of a game. And then you have Manchester United fans that obviously your Manchester United is nowhere near the team that they should be, and they're pretty much in relegation zone territory. So I get how, like, maybe for a lot of people this wasn't even that good of a performance from both teams, right? It could have been a lot better. Yes, I do agree, but because of that, I didn't think it was also like the worst game either. Manchester City should have won this game. They had good opportunities, especially with Onana pretty much telegraphing, like, the sun's in my face. The sun's in my face. You guys could kick, the ball maybe a couple inches away from me, and I'm never going to get to it. And unfortunately, the long distance strike, which was a very, very powerful strike from Marmoush, had that gone just maybe a foot away, Onana would never have seen the ball go in. And then the free kick, I have no problem with the free kick just because you guys get paid so much money. These guys are pro, they practice every day, and some of these free kicks are astronomically horrible. They're going outside, nowhere near the target. So at least it was within target, but it was a very easy save for Onana. And then Foden also had an opportunity, although the angle was kind of weird. And he could have gotten the strike. He could have gotten like the shot, but he would have ended up hurting himself, and then also kicking 100% Mazraoui in the leg, because Mazraoui, I think, got to the ball before. So really good intervention from Mazraoui. And I think there was like one more maybe, but that's about it. Unlike Manchester United, which had opportunities with Dorgu, Ugarte, I think Fernandes also had a chance. Garnacho, Garnacho, man, he actually played well. I think he played well for what it is, for what this team is. Like I said, it's not a great team. Manchester United, not a great team. I thought he did pretty well. Again, I still think you guys need to get rid of him as soon as possible, and I think he will thrive. I hope he does thrive when he goes outside. And I'm kind of tired of YouTubers saying, other people that I respect, but I so wholeheartedly disagree with that there's a good player in Garnacho. Yes, there's a good player in Garnacho that could play elsewhere, not in Manchester United. I disagree also with a lot of people saying that he should have passed the ball more often. I don't think he needed to do that in this game. He just needs to be a lot more clinical, and which is not part of his game. He doesn't have that. He unfortunately doesn't have that. But more salient than that, the thing that stands out more is how easily he gets pushed from the ball. I get it, he's not the biggest guy, so you would think that makes sense, but you have players like Silva. Silva's not like Bernardo Silva. He's not the biggest guy, but he knows how to use his body, and you don't see him get pushed so easily the way Garnacho does. And Garnacho, all this talk about him being fast, he's no faster than anyone on that field. Like, not faster than Ruben Diaz, and these are like defenders. Ruben Diaz is quicker, Gavardio is quicker, Akanji wasn't there obviously, but he's definitely quicker. Aki wasn't there, but he's definitely quicker. He's just as quick as Rico Lewis when he came in. What's that guy, O'Reilly, just as quick. He did get past O'Reilly twice. Once with O'Reilly, and the second time, but he could have kept on going with Bernardo Silva catching him, I think, on the knee. But anytime he's running with the ball, he gets pushed. He gets budged so easily. I don't know what his deal is. It's frustrating. It's just frustrating to see. But despite that, I thought he had a pretty decent game. You know, considering his standards, like for me, like I don't think he's that great of a player. So for me, I actually thought he did pretty well in this game, and there was a lot of energy. I give him that. There was so much energy. He was very up to the task to try to prove himself. Did not really realize that, but again, he didn't have a horrible game. For a lot of people, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, he should have passed and all that stuff. I don't 100% agree, but I know where you're coming from when you guys say that. The standout player, the man of the match for me, which it was kind of hard to see, Bruno Fernandes. And when I heard, I thought these were rumors. I had to look it up. It is somewhat of a speculation, but there are a lot of sources that are quoting this, that Real Madrid are interested in Bruno Fernandes. I thought it was the funniest thing, next to Trent Alexander-Arnold going to Real Madrid, which is that's a huge mistake. I don't think that should be happening, but it looks like it's going to happen. Bruno Fernandes going to Real Madrid, I think that makes so much sense now, especially watching this game. Because yeah, let me be honest, like I've seen Bruno Fernandes in the past play, and some games he's just like absent. But some games when he doesn't play, I mean, he makes a huge difference for Manchester United. When he comes back, you can see the big difference when he does come back. And given the way the way Real Madrid are playing, his profile is just perfect to replace Modric. I mean, absolutely, he's a shoe-in for this Real Madrid squad. I would definitely 100% like get my vote for him to go to Real Madrid. And Real Madrid have to do everything to get this player, and he himself has to do everything to get himself out of that. It would suck also for Manchester United, just because Manchester United are not in a position where they should be, dispensing or doing away with a player like Bruno Fernandes. Because I think lately, especially lately, because he hasn't been complaining. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, if maybe he had a talk with someone, but lately I forgot that he doesn't complain anymore. That's one of his biggest downfalls or drawbacks of his game. He hasn't been doing that, and because of that, I think he's been playing a lot better. And in this game, he was so in control. He was so salient in his performance, and so key to. He's the one that made all these players play. Dorgu, Dalot, Garnacho. I thought he did such a great job in this game. So in control, so chill. Wasn't perfect, obviously, but man, is he so good in that position, and he'd fit like a glove for Real Madrid. I definitely do agree, especially with the players that Real Madrid has, the way that Real Madrid plays, and then playing in La Liga also. We could talk about seeing him next season in a Champions League final if he actually does play for Real Madrid. Whereas for Manchester United, even next year, do what they may, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Just stay afloat, barely staying afloat in the EPL. Sounds like a good deal. Sounds like a good idea getting Bruno Fernandes over there. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.